Well, welcome to Now or Never on CBC Radio 1. I'm Trevor Dineen.
And I am Chiwetelu. And you know, right now in Canada somewhere, there is someone who is in the middle of doing something really big, who has a personal mission to make a change.
And that's what Now or Never is all about. It's parachuting into people's lives as they're about to make the biggest leap of their lives.
Yes, whether they're trying to bring back an Indigenous language from the brink of extinction.
Or, just mustering up the courage to go on Tinder as a senior citizen and just start dating again.
Don't do it.
Nope.
But we are right there with our mics covering the action as it unfolds.
Embracing all of the messiness.
And hopefully inspiring you to make things happen in your own life.
Because, hey, it's now or never.
Oh, it's not maybe tomorrow.
No, Now or Never.
Which is
the name of the show.
Oh my goodness. Let's
Now
say it
or
one more
Never.
time. When is it?
Now or Never.
Yep, on CBC Radio 1.
Today's show is all about citizen crime fighters, everyday Canadians who just got so fed up with what's happening within their own communities, their businesses, their schools, and they just decided to, do something about it.
And Trevor, we're not just talking about vigilantes looking for vengeance. There are a lot of different people with a lot of reasons why they choose to take the law into their own hands.
It gets personal. You feel like, this is my stuff. I'm sick of people stealing. That anger comes out and you're just like, I don't care. I'm just going to do it or else I'll never get my stuff back.
He was pushing off. He was going to jump, so I didn't even think. I just grabbed him and pulled him back over the railing.
I've been hurt by the police, and I didn't deserve this. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was walking home from school. And if it could happen to me, and hey, I'm educated, that was in the suburbs, then it could happen literally to anyone.
So here's what we're going to do on today's program. We are going to find out what's deeply motivating all these people to don these imaginary superhero capes and take on crime.
So Trevor, the first crime fighter I want you to meet is a guy who literally puts on a cape and patrols the streets of Brampton, Ontario. He calls himself, well, his real name is Stephen Lawrence, but he calls himself the Brampton Batman.
Really?
Really.
So are we talking like the cape, the cowl, little bat ears?
Yeah, I was expecting like a onesie and just like a felt cape, but it is a serious piece of equipment that he puts on. So I decided to go on patrol with him and find out exactly what he does and why. And let me paint the picture for you. We walk up to this unassuming brick house in a suburb in Brampton, and I was expecting at least, to be going underneath a mountain or crossing a moat, but we just walked to the front of this house and headed into the dressing room.
I put the boots on first, after the pants.
Where the transformation from Stephen to Batman begins.
You really do need to be invested in part of it. I am literally Batman. It's not a joke. This isn't someone that sat down at home one day and say, I want to make an impact. What do you have an idea? Oh, I'll be Batman. That's not it. There is a real story of how it happened. And part of that real story, I've never found a way to put this up. But
certificate.
My mom has the original one.
This is from 1993.
Yes.
You were 17?
Yeah.
The Regional Municipality of York Police Services Board presents this civilian citation to Stephen Lawrence in grateful acknowledgement of astounding services and unselfish assistance rendered to the York Regional Police. So what was that about?
I caught a criminal on Canada-wide warrant. Yeah, I was in the mall. There were two people just running, chasing each other. Stop him, stop him. He wouldn't stop, but you're not going to outrun me. He made it out of the mall, and I continued to chase him. We went across Highway 7. He continued. He jumped. This is winter. This is December. He jumped into the water and tried to make it out to the other side. So I'm standing there at the mouth of this river here and think to myself, oh my gosh. Okay, in I go. And I dove in. I caught him. And that's where the security of the mall and the police caught up, bring him back. And that's when they discover, yeah, he's part of a big fraud ring in Vancouver. You got him. He's on Canada-wide warrant.
Wow. That was the beginning of this path.
It was.
So what was it about that incident that you think spurred you wanting to do more?
I don't know. It's felt very natural. Being a good citizen.
But I feel
is
like
the best way.
getting a cape doesn't just happen.
The nickname Batman started because in school you have your uniform, your Catholic uniform, but the one way of like self-expression was what you wear over it, your jacket. And I think it's actually here.
The original one you wore in high school?
This is it. This is
Wow.
it. This is it.
Oh, wow. It was cape-like.
This was actually my dad's. This is it's just simply a overcoat. So now when you walk the halls as a teenager, you can imagine what it looks like when I walk, especially being so light. That square jaw, big black cape. The nickname Batman was there before I had my first catch. The utility belt is definitely something of trademark. It is from an army supply store.
What's inside?
And
Can I
answer
just say, I really hope
go for it.
it's like
That's what I was
gum,
gonna say.
maybe like some tokens or bus money.
What am I gonna do?
Maybe like a dental floss that somehow also doubles
What am
as
I gonna do with
something.
it on patrol? Dental floss.
I don't know. I feel like in a lot of movies they seem to have multiple purposes.
No.
Well,
Keep going.
I'm rope,
Yes,
handcuffs. That can't be legal.
it is.
Hand sanitizer.
No. This part is a protective front, so it's a chest plate. It's interesting. There are a lot of people that do touch me and find out that this is not a Halloween costume. It's real.
Am I imagining it, or are you getting more stoic as you're putting this on?
Not imagining it, no.
It's almost like with this external armor coming on, an almost internal wall is going up.
And that's what it feels like. Literally. You'll need it if you want to be taken seriously while you're out there as well. Is it a passing fad? Is it a joke? Is it a phase? Is it a YouTube lure? This is who I am, and I've always been this person. You are seeing me inside out. This is what a good citizen looks like on the inside.
Okay. I feel like the second this mask goes on, I'm saying bye to you as Steven.
Cowl now.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
If we're going to make the time, we're going to have to do that. Ready?
Yep.
So for this afternoon, we're going to go on a short patrol. And for the short patrol, we're going to see how many smiles we can put on faces.
It sounds like a noble mission to me. Off to the streets of Brampton.
Ready. I'll take the outside.
For safety, of course.
One of the first rules of the gentleman.
Mm-hmm. So you go when the sun goes down. Hey! Is that common for you? People honking, waving?
It is common. And
Yeah.
each time, I think it's a very large compliment. So thank you.
So when you go out from when sundown till 3 a.m., that's every night. You don't take holidays. Does Batman observe statutory holidays?
Every night, I'm out there.
So what kind of things are you doing on patrol?
Vigilantism is against the law. This is why be careful not to say that, I'm the biggest, toughest guy that's out there. Don't mess with me. I really am Batman. These kind of things. This is not the idea. The idea really is I am interacting with the public. I am someone, call me a good citizen, that is there. For example, the latest one was a drunk driver. I was on patrol and there was a few people taking photographs. There was a noise, and the noise was a car that was traveling on its rims. It lost its front tire. It stopped at the red light, and I did apprehend the drunk driver. That is the reason why I patrol.
Oh, I feel like they might be stopping.
Batman. I need a picture of Batman for my grandson.
Your name?
Leonard.
Pleasure to meet you, Leonard.
Jay, come.
And your name?
It's Salome.
Pleasure to meet you, Salome.
You too,
Would you like a
Batman.
photograph?
Yes, I would.
Ready?
Batman.
1, 2, 3.
There.
Our picture taken.
Yeah, thank you, Batman.
Pleasure. Are you Suzette?
Yes, I'm Suzanne.
Pleasure to see you.
How did you know?
It says it on your shirt.
You know,
Batman has jokes.
I thought that he, he was just a real smart guy. Where's your
Batmobile?
I'll be picking it up momentarily.
Oh,
Okay.
can we drive over with you and watch you?
Clever
Okay,
guy.
ready? 1, 2.
This is my first time. This is my first Batman experience.
How is it?
No, I actually saw him from the distance, so I decided to drive over here so I could get the full experience. Yeah, no, the suit looks awesome. You want a picture with him?
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
How are you? Adam.
You got the voice and everything. Nice one.
Do you feel safer now that you've met Batman and you know
Yeah.
Batman's out
Yeah.
there?
We feel safer in the city. We
Yeah.
do. Yes, we do.
I thought I saw the bat in the sky last night, actually. Have a good day. All right. Have a good day, guys.
Do you feel powerful right now?
With every power comes responsibility. So as I do feel powerful, I know I'm responsible for not only my own actions, but also the interactions that are around me. So yes.
Because there is almost a reverence in just the limited time that we've seen and the way that people are approaching you. How do you stop that from getting to your head?
It's not something I'll ever take for granted. Janet Jackson had a song, "You don't know what you have till it's gone."
Who did that first? Joni Mitchell. Yes. I love that Batman just quoted Joni Mitchell and Janet Jackson. Full of surprises.
There still is a person underneath the cape and cowl. Being Batman wasn't a choice. It was an experience. The same experiences as Bruce Wayne is the exact same experiences with myself. I'm an only child when it comes to my mother and father, but my dad has 2 other children. I discovered that they existed at about 14. And I lived with my dad for a small period of time. During that time, the way I like to say it is he went on a crusade for his kids. The 2 other half-siblings ended up living with Dad, as well as I did. One of them, unfortunately, got himself into drugs. During one of the nights that he was under the influence, there was a fight between Dad and himself. He was a tailor. He had a pair of scissors, and during the fight, he found the pair of scissors into Dad's jugular vein. This was in the basement of the home. He went outside and sat down and waited for the ambulance. Because the ambulance had a hard time getting into the complex, Dad passed away in hospital.
Were you home when this happened?
I wasn't. I didn't know about it till the next day.
Do you ever feel like something could have happened differently if you were home?
Sadly to say, yes. I was still a kid, still a teenager. How much different would have happened, I don't know. But I do know that if I was there, chances are something different would have happened.
So with Batman's origin story, it's often relayed that the death of his parents sort of fostered his vigilantism. Do you see any connection with yourself?
Every night. When I'm out there, I see mothers, fathers, children, successful families together. These are the things that I wish I was involved with. For example, there was some pictures taken, and the first thing out of their mouth is their children or grandchildren to say, I want to show that picture too. That's the close relationship that I wish that not only our society would have more of, but I can be involved with myself. For everything that was taken away from me, this is just me trying to get pieces of it back.
What do you think your father, if he were alive, would think of Batman?
He'd be angry with me.
You know this without hesitation.
He wouldn't want me to be wearing a cape and cowl, especially in public. No.
Do you think he could appreciate the place that it comes from for you?
He would, as he's telling me to take it off.
I know this very well because, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to explain some things that don't seem logical to some people,
Correct.
but that seem very natural to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing that, by the way.
This is also why I invited you back. If you wanted to come back, now you'll know you need a lot more time with me.
Yeah, you're multi-layered. He is multi-layered, I have to say. One of the most interesting people that I've spent time with. And one thing that really struck me is he refers to the Batman getup not as a costume, but a uniform. So these are just two parts of the same person, one just, I guess, going to work. Yeah, I do think being Batman gives him an access that being Steven doesn't. We talk so much about him in this uniform that you have to go see it. Please visit cbc.ca/nowornever. You can see some great photos of him interacting with some fans, admirers, citizens, and a couple of me and Batman.
Well, you're listening to Now or Never. I'm Trevor Dineen.
And I'm Ifi Chiwetelu.
And this episode, we're taking a look at people who are taking the law into their own hands in their own way, really. We're now going to hear from two women who dress up in a very different kind of crime-fighting costume. Instead of capes and cowls, think fluorescent vests and big red stop signs. Debbie Roskos and Tana Armstrong are volunteer school crossing guards in Winnipeg.
I'm good. Good morning. Hi, guys. Have a good day.
So how many years have you been doing this here?
This is 13 for me, and it's been fun. The kids are great.
And now this year you're holding a giant stop sign instead of a flag.
We are. It's a new thing that Pembina Trails has come up with this year. They're the first in the city, I believe. And we're hoping it'll be a little more effective to convincing the cars to stop.
Is this your first day using it?
Yes. Yeah, today is the day.
Do you feel more comfortable holding a stop sign than a flag?
On one hand, yes, but it is a little heavy.
Okay.
But we'll certainly adapt.
This is a busy intersection.
It's very busy, and at 4 o'clock, it's absolutely crazy.
Is it hard in an intersection like this where cars are going 80 kilometers an hour to make them slow down?
Oh, yes. They stop in the crosswalk. They run through it continually. It's tough when they're coming off the 80.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has there been any moments out here where you've had close calls?
Oh, yes.
Really? What's one that comes to mind?
First year I worked here, a car came up into the median, little Jimmy. Hello. Good morning. Hi, have a good day. Came right up into the median and just about got both of us. Yeah, we both ran, and it was interesting. Hey, how are you? Haven't seen you for a while. How are you keeping?
Whoa.
That's what we did a lot.
Lots of squealing there.
Yeah, and now he's giving her attitude.
Look at this. This person's getting upset that the crosswalk sign's going.
And they'll stop right here, and they'll run it, and she's giving Debbie some definite attitude there.
Look at that, eh?
Yeah, it's continual.
Now she's swearing at me.
And all you were doing was letting a child cross the road.
Exactly.
Do you get that a lot?
We do.
I had no idea this intersection was this busy in the morning.
It's actually worse at the end of the day, because at the end of the day you can be guaranteed there's going to be a train.
That's right.
And then everybody stops in the crosswalk, in the intersection, and we don't have a safe place to cross the kids at all. So a lot of times we'll press the button and just stand there to keep it open and watch for the train to leave. So there's a lot of things going on at this corner. People driving on the paved shoulder.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
What do you say? Do you like say something to them?
I usually stick my flag out, and usually they'll just respond in a very negative way that we're not police and we can't tell them what to do.
It is amazing. I had no idea this many people would get upset about you trying to help kids cross the street.
It is crazy when you think about it, because it's just a fundamental of life. These are here for a reason. They're not good enough, so they've got extra people for the kids that are going to school, and you still have people in such a rush that they're just angry.
What is one thing you'd like parents or kids to know on how they can help you do this job?
It's just especially if there is nobody at the crosswalk, never assume that someone is coming to a stop. Wait till they are stopped before you actually head out. Press your button, look. Also, on bicycles, walk your bikes across the intersection. If you're riding, you're going so fast, nobody can stop.
Hey, thank you very much for chatting today.
You're very welcome.
I need your help crossing the street now.
Okay, I'll wait for a break. Okay, they got lots of time.
Bye.
This story really reminds me of my days as a school crossing guard.
Oh, really?
When I was 11, Father Doucette Elementary School in Calgary, Alberta. I remember having to go out there and people ignoring us, but the people who would ignore us were mainly just the older kids who, by the time you like tweeted your little whistle to get set up, they were already crossing the street. Like they weren't waiting for you at all. And I feel like it's those people who grow up, they get driver's licenses, they move to Winnipeg just to target and terrorize these two women. So I'm so sorry I failed you because I wasn't strong enough back then to be the enforcer that you have to be today. I've changed. I've changed a lot since then.
Now or never. Call us.
Email us.
So we want to know now, what's the one crime that just gets under your skin, the one that just bothers you so much, and if you've ever tried to go out and actually stop it yourself.
Yeah, we want to know what has ever made you leap into a phone booth and change outfits and come back out there just to rage against some injustice. We already have some really great examples on our Facebook page, CBC Now or Never.
And we'd like to hear some more from you as well, because I know for me personally, littering.
Yeah?
I hate a litterer.
Do you?
A litterer.
I thought you were going to say, I hate alliteration.
I
just hate these English descriptive techniques.
I hate anything to do with
So we are standing outside of Juxtaposed Cards and Gifts on Toronto's Bloor Street West, about to go in and meet a hero? A crime stopper? I don't know. We're going to find out. Hi, I'm Ify with CBC's Now or Never.
Hi, I'm Trin, part owner of Juxtapose.
This store is super cute. I may have to buy some things before I leave. And not steal them. Because I hear you are like a citizen crime stopper.
I guess, yes, you can say that.
Yeah? What kind of things do you do to protect your store?
Well, I have like cameras around my store, and when people steal and stuff, we have to verify it on our camera system, and then we wait until they go out and go after them and basically be like, can I have back my stuff or I'm going to call the cops.
How are you waiting to, like, are you just sort of hovering over them watching, or do you try to be...
We can't accuse them, so we have to wait until they literally walk out of the store, even if they have it in their bag and stuff. Or we would go over, can I take that from you and put it on the counter? I'll be happy to ring you up afterward, things like that.
You're not like a physically imposing person. Has that confrontation ever gone wrong? That you've stopped someone and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, or they just bolt?
No, they're usually like, I don't know what you mean. I'm like, well, I can see it in your bag right there.
Wow.
They just throw hissy fit and then walk out the door.
Yeah.
So they try to make it like, how dare you try to accuse me of stealing?
Are you nervous when you do that, or are you just overcome with like justice?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
But I just like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. This is my stuff. I'm sick of people stealing. It's like, it's hard. We're a small business, right? So it comes out of our pocket here. So you feel it gets personal. You feel like they're violating. This is you shouldn't, like, you get that anger comes out and you're just like, I don't care, I'm just gonna do it or else I'll never get my stuff back.
Is it just the images of the people who've stolen from you are sort of burned in your memory and you can be like, never come here again?
I have photos on the side that I cut out afterward and I pasted on the wall.
Can I see?
Yes, of course. So I have some on my stairwell when they're not too sure.
Oh, wow.
So there's these ones.
Okay. There's just a collage of thieves. There's some little descriptors. Like this one says, using her cardigan to cover the products, then put it in her designer bag, LV, Louis Vuitton, which cost $800 for that bag, WTF. I feel like that one was real personal.
Yeah, because she's been in here twice and we've caught her, like, you need to get out now.
Yeah.
We used to have them post right at the door when you walk in, and I guess one guy saw himself on there and he came back during Christmas time. He stole his own picture off the wall.
His own picture of him stealing off the wall.
Yes.
Did you catch him in the act?
We caught him on camera stealing his own picture. So.
Wow. Have you ever run into... Because Bloor Street is a very busy street. Have you ever run into any of these people outside of the store?
I've seen this guy before.
Oh, did you Did you tackle him then?
No.
Were you like in line at second cup?
The
and were
other
like, "Whoa."
girl went to the bookstore because she saw him walking in the bookstore just to mention, hey, he was in our shop stealing. And which was down the street from here. And if I have sent reports to cops. If I see them or if they see them, they let me know. I would call and be like, hey, they're in the neighborhood. Can you go and arrest them?
It sounds like you are you've almost become like a cop. Does it feel like that? Like with this security camera footage and with your methods of knowing how to approach people, you even know the laws around when you can talk with someone? Like I feel like, you're half a step away from police academy.
Learn little things as you go through the year. You know what to do better. Yeah.
Do you ever sort of spread the word to your neighbors? It sounds like you all look out for each other.
I do. I usually, after I print out footage, we'll call them, be like, hey, this person was in here. They were stealing. Keep an eye out if they come in your store. And then when I do print out footage, I would go over and hand it to them just so they know who they are and stuff. This is Whiskey. We're going to go in and talk to one of the girls just to let them know that there was a theft happening. And I bring my information. I bring the paper of photos for her and share and let them know who it is. So here's the photo of the girl, just so you guys know they've been in my store stealing. So keep an eye out.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing this in. We'll keep an eye out, Trin. And we'll let you know if we see anything. We'll give you a call and we'll be in contact.
Perfect. Thank you.
What are you doing in your store around shoplifting?
We just really try to keep an eye out. We try to just make sure that we're aware of what's going in and out of fitting rooms. It's usually when people try to wear something out and we'll be like, oh, hey, I noticed you like the pants. Did you want to grab them? And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, sure. Or they'll be like, actually, no, I'm fine without them. So
I'm hearing that passive aggression is a great tool to deterring shoplifters. Just being like, hey, girl, noticed you're wearing something that you haven't purchased. Just real casual.
We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but we do want to address it, obviously, direct enough to fix the situation, to address it.
Do you feel more safe knowing that Trin is in the neighborhood doing her duty?
Yeah, Trin is awesome. She's always in contact with us. We have a great relationship. Keep an eye out for us, and we hope we can do the same for them.
And I'm both impressed that I'll say, Trin, when I heard that you were a bit of a enforcer a little bit when it comes to shoplifting, I think I was expecting, I don't know, like a leather jacket at least, maybe a baton, but you're just yourself and passionate.
Yes, I am. So, thanks.
Thank you. You've been so great. Thank you for letting us come
guys.
on this.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks. I can't say this enough. Trin is 5'2" tops, and she does these things that she doesn't even advise her employees to do. She's told them if someone comes and you see them shoplifting, do not approach them. Let them go. The cameras will capture them. But for herself, she will go up to them, leaves the comfort of her stores, and goes and confronts them on the street.
Unbelievable.
She's a badass.
Big time. Big
right?
time.
You're listening to Now or Never on CBC Radio 1, the show that leaps into the action with Canadians who are making things happen.
Yeah, and speaking of Canadians making things happen, I went out earlier this week on this very cold night here in Winnipeg with a group of citizens taking it upon themselves to police their own community. And they call themselves the Bear Clan. Now, our first stop was the Dufferin, Manitoba Housing Projects. Here's how patrol member Travis Biggity described the area.
So right now we're in development in the North End, which was, for a number of years, was very violent and an area that a lot of people would avoid just because of a high rate of gang violence and stabbings and also murders. And so this is actually one area that a number of people would avoid. And so by Bear Clan coming here, it's trying to show that it's not as bad as it used to be. It is a safe environment for families to grow up in. That's one of the main things that we try to do as a Bear Clan.
Now it's interesting because the Bear Clan had such a big presence in the North End community in Winnipeg in the early 90s, but then it dissipated, and next thing you know, years went by and there was no group to patrol the area. That is until 2 years ago. And then after the body of 15-year-old Tina Fontaine was found in the Red River, that group decided to spring back into action again. They now patrol the area 4 nights a week, and they're out there just going around all these different locations, making sure people are safe. So I went out on their new youth patrol, and I met some of the bears.
I'll be back in the hood in a bit.
Yeah.
You go with them.
We're gonna go up to the D here. We'll take Flora. We'll go through the D.
So I heard you mention there that 99% of the people in the community love you, but then there's that 1%. Who's that 1%?
The ones that are up to no good. Yeah. But they still give us respect, right? You know, they'd rather us not be here. We just interrupt their business as we pass by, right? So,
how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it 11 months now.
Yeah. And what brought you out? What was the moment for you that you were like, I need to be a part of this?
It's kind of my own self-healing journey. I like to give back. I want to give back, so I come out. I've been coming out 4 nights a week for 11 months, and I don't miss a day.
No?
No. I need it just as much as the community needs it, right? You know, myself, I was part of the gang life for 29 years. I've served 23 years in prison. It helps me, you know, it keeps me humble, and I love it.
What was your name, by the way?
Scott, yeah.
What's it like seeing the kids out?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. I love seeing kids happy and smile in the community. I love seeing the youth walk with us, right? Like, because, you know, some of them they're at that age where they can go either way, right?
Yeah.
Where you going? Stick this way. We'll go this way. This is an area here where we find a lot of needles, drug paraphernalia laying around. We're going to check this parking lot here. One night in here we found 14 needles just along the wall here. Right.
Man, I found a
Aaron,
needle.
we got a needle, I think.
Thanks to me.
Is there a needle there?
I'm not sure. I saw one from over there, but I can't see it over here.
You got that kitchen knife?
You know, we're coming up to the Salter Bridge now. We usually go up and check under the bridge because there's a lot of drug activity going on there. People come and sit there and they do their dope, and we kind of clean it up, right? God forbid some kid found it and stuck themselves and wound up like, you know, HIV or Hep C or even worse, loading themselves up with drugs and overdose.
Yeah.
What'd you find? Don't touch it. You got no gloves. This is a wrapper for a needle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know. So where the wrapper is, there's probably going to be a needle somewhere, right? So yeah, it's quite a little hot spot up there.
Yeah, completely. What do you say to people that say, you know, should be something that the police is doing? The police should be out here on a regular basis, patrolling the area, making people feel safe. It shouldn't be up to the Bear Clan.
I disagree with that. I mean, the police are out doing what they can. I mean, they have limited resources too. We're just kind of, what we are is we're filling in the gaps between different organizations, right? I mean, that's what we're trying to do, right? We try to resolve a situation before they have to be involved, right? And 90% of the time it works.
Yeah.
Now we're entering the area where the sex trade takes place, like the sex trade workers, right?
Yeah.
They stand on this corner all the way down to the bridge. Sometimes we find cars parked in here with actual girls doing their thing, and so we like to, you know, interrupt it.
Yeah.
These guys exploiting our women that are like vulnerable, right? It's not cool. Not cool. I've done a lot of bad things in my life, man, but you never disrespect a woman. Never.
I'm Chickadee. I'm one of the co-founders of Bear Clan.
The original one, correct?
Yes, the original. For the first few years, I was really committed to Bear Clan. So it's nice to see you. I hope that, you know, you continue to come out, you know, because it's really self-rewarding in the end. You know, you look at life different. Like right here is the murdered missing woman's memorial, you know. You think about that. Like a lot of our women go missing and murdered. It's because of the lifestyle, but also the social conditions, you know, things that living in poverty, you know. And you think about those things out there. You know, a lot of these people don't really choose to be where they're at. They just somehow get caught up in the cycles and they don't know how to get out of those cycles, eh?
What's your name?
Wadullah.
Yeah. How old are you?
19 years old. Yeah.
And you've been in Winnipeg for how long?
Like 5-6 months.
Where were you before?
Lebanon. Yeah. I'm from Iraq.
Why did you want to come out here today?
Because I want to help the community and make it safe. I like the job because I wanted to be a police officer.
And how many days have you gone this week with them?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 to 9 evening.
You've gone almost every day?
Every day, yeah.
So how long have you been working with the Bear Clan?
Since the spring.
Yeah?
Sort of the spring, yeah.
What made you decide to start?
For me, I'm on a sort of a healing journey kind of thing. Yeah, I was getting in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
So I had to straighten out. It helps my sobriety. It helps me stay busy, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
People want to feel safe, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to feel safe. I've actually got to trying to stay humble, and I do it. But I've saved 2 people's lives this summer, so it's been amazing.
How so? What happened?
One young man was drowning, and then I helped jump in and save him. And then two youths one youth was going to jump off the bridge one night, and then I grabbed them and stopped him from jumping, and it was crazy. Yeah.
What is that when you go home at night after you've done something like that? What does that feel like?
I cry. Yeah, I cry, man. Yeah, because I've been through all those. I can relate with a lot of people here.
Is that what helped you when you had to talk someone off a bridge?
I didn't even have to talk. He was pushing off. He was gonna jump, so I didn't even think. I just grabbed him and pulled him back over the railing. Yeah, there was no time to do any talking. It was
wow. Hey, thank you very much. And what was your name?
Aaron.
Aaron?
Yeah.
In the corner here on McGregor and Dufferin, about 3 weeks ago, we found an infant, 1.5 years old, diaper, no clothes on. Got out of her house from over here, walked over here and was in the street, eh? So we scooped her up, and when I grabbed her, she clung on to me like she was scared. And we went and we canvassed the area, and we found where she was from.
You must have seen a lot in your time, but when you come around a corner and you see a 1.5-year-old just sitting in the middle of an intersection, what goes through your mind?
To be honest, the first thing just pisses me right off. That how can anybody allow that to happen, right? But when we found we returned the child, we found where she lived. The grandmother didn't even know she left the house. But yeah, it's heart-wrenching, right? It's heart-wrenching, but what a I can't even think of the word. It's just such a grateful feeling to know you got this child home.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the kid that just waved out his window at you.
Yeah, they usually do. They honk and wave.
And it's so true. When you were out and about with them, you saw so many kids in the neighborhood, so many families who would wave, they'd honk, they'd run up and be like, oh, it's the Bear Clan. And the amount of positive energy they are bringing to this neighborhood is amazing. And the sense of pride that every one of these volunteers has for their neighborhood, for their community, it really shines through when you're talking to them.
I'm so glad they exist.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they continue to get community support and police support to keep existing for a long time.
I talked to this little 16-year-old kid when I was there, and it didn't make it into the tape here, but I asked him about why he came out, and he said, I've read stories about the Bear Clan for years, and I was always in awe of them. And for me to be here tonight, I feel such purpose, and these are real-life superheroes. That's what he called them, and it's very true. So if you want to take a look and see, when we were out, we took a ton of pictures. So if you want, go to our website, take a peek. You can see all the kids going about and enjoying it, and the Bear Clan members themselves making their way through the community.
Now, we want to know what you're doing to fight crime in your neighborhoods. Tell us about it on our Facebook page, CBC Now or Never.
Or you can always drop us a line at nowor never@cbc.ca, or even better, because we love to hear your voice, leave a message. The number is 1-844-375-5669.
And if you're struggling to remember that number is 1-Tiger55 now. This is Chiwetelu, and I am here at Ryerson University in Toronto wanting to have some people try out an app for me. And it's not Tinder, so don't be afraid. Just wanting to find some students to try out a new app. Can I show it to you?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's about police interactions,
Okay.
And what to do if you're in a police interaction. So it asks you, like, okay, so what is the officer attempting to do? And you can kind of role play it. So if they were trying to, like, see your ID or something, you might...
Yeah, well, if you're seeking ID, I feel like, aren't you allowed? Like, aren't they supposed to?
I don't know.
I'm not
Do
sure.
use the app.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
find
Let's
out.
see. So what were you doing when asked for ID? Walking, driving a vehicle, riding a bike? Should I just be like walking?
Walking.
Like I'm just randomly walking? Are you under arrest? No. So what do I say? Am I under detention? And if so, what for? I do not wish to answer any further questions unless I speak with a lawyer.
Well, you could say that.
Also, you're not, it is not advisable to engage in any conversation beyond your name and presenting ID with an officer unless you speak with a lawyer.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know, like, what our legal rights are.
Yeah. That's so cool.
So is that what the app is for? Like, it just...
Do you think this would be helpful?
Of course.
You don't know what the police are allowed to do and what they
Yeah.
can't do, right? Like...
The app seems very user-friendly in that situation, so...
Yeah, for sure. Like, I'd play around with it before, then, like, I'd know. So if
Like,
I'm in the
just to
situation,
educate
then I'll know.
yourself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for trying the app. What were your names?
Afreen.
Afreen?
Yeah.
Sana.
So this app we've been talking about, you can download it. It's out there. It's called Legal Swipe, and it was made by a young innovator named Christian Levine in response to police practices like carding that unfairly target people like him, young Black men in Toronto. I first met Christian last year when he was trying to get the app in more people's hands. I helped him write a grant that got him some more money to do it. So back then, Christian was a new grad from the University of Ottawa's law school, and we were working in a bit of a cramped room. And now he's a busy criminal defense lawyer in Brampton, and we met up with him in a super swank boardroom. So when I first heard of Legal Swipe, I was immediately excited about it. Why is this app so important to you?
When I was in my first year of my undergrad at York University, I was on my way home and I was actually carded. An officer walked up to me. He said, "Hey, could I see some ID?" I turned to him. I said, "Why? Is there a problem?" Immediately, another officer tackled me to the ground. I was thrown in the back of a cruiser. I was detained for quite a length of time and questioned, and then I was let go without reason. I've been hurt by the police, and I didn't deserve this. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was walking home from school. And if it could happen to me, and hey, I'm educated, that was in the suburbs, then it could happen literally to anyone. So yeah, I'd say my own experience with the police definitely led to me creating the app, and it definitely served as an impetus for me to go on to complete law school and now to serve as a criminal defense lawyer. And now it's great. I really have the chance to protect civil liberties every day in the courts. And then I leave and I work on the app, and it's doing the same thing. To me, it's like two sides of the advocacy coin, and I every day I'm so grateful to be doing this work. Yeah.
In first year university, if you had had the app, how do you think that situation would have been different for you?
I think I would have known exactly what the legalese was that I needed to use to get out of the interaction. I would have quickly probably asked, "Hey, look, what's going on? Am I being arrested or detained?" And I think when an officer even hears those words, a few things run through his mind. Either this person's legally trained, or at the very least they know their rights. So it changes that power imbalance. I think it kind of levels things out.
Have you had feedback from users of the application about how it's being used in the real world?
So thus far, the feedback I've gotten is that it's primarily being used in educational settings.
You look a little disappointed when you say that.
Well, it's not that I'm disappointed. I know the time's going to come when somebody says they use the app or they relied on the information in the app during a police interaction. But I know primarily right now, Actually, not too long ago, I know an article came out that said even in communities out in Thunder Bay, in First Nations communities, they're using the app to aid in public legal education. So my hope is that there could be like a real transformational kind of shift in the way which we view the law and the way which we view public legal education, so that, hey, maybe the app is one day used in school. So I am very happy with the way the app is being used right now, but I hope we could continue down a road of seeing new and innovative ways that we could continue to educate the public on their rights.
So that was Christian Levine, creator of the new app Legal Swipe. And he says that his hope was that one day someone would use it in a police interaction. And that day has come, because I used it in a police interaction.
Did you really?
Yeah, I sound so excited to share about the time that I was pulled over by the police.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, I may or may not have been faster than the posted speed limits. So I was pulled over and I was actually very panicked. Like my heart was beating out of my chest. It was a really tense time. And the cop came up to my car, asked me for my license and registration, and then started asking other questions about what was in my car. And as soon as they went back to check my information, that's when I pulled out the app. And I was looking and I went through it. I said, I'm in my car. I was pulled over. What are my rights in this situation? And it was actually very calming to just sort of read it and be like, okay, they can't ask me for anything else, where I'm going and what I'm doing. And I just felt more comfortable to not have to answer those because that's not why I was pulled over. The app also has some other great features, like it allows you to record police interactions and film them. And I was fumbling to find that while I was pulled over. I wasn't able to. I should have spent more time with it before. But it did. It made me feel like, okay, I have something on my side. So Christian's next big goal, and it is a big one, is to expand Legal Swipe into other countries. He's set to launch in the U.S. in December. And I think with all the things coming around about police interactions with the U.S., it couldn't be more timely.
Well, we're getting down to the end of the show, but before we do, we still have one more citizen crime fighter that we want to introduce you to.
So we heard about this guy from Andrew, who's a producer here at Now or Never. Andrew, his bike just got stolen, and he posted about it on a Facebook page for stolen bikes. A couple of hours later, he gets a call from a guy named Ryan who is in mid-pursuit, mid-chase, chasing down Andrew's bicycle thief. Turns out that this is practically his part-time job, reuniting stolen bikes with their owners. So I decided to tag along with him on my bike to see how he gets it done.
Hey there, I'm Ryan Woosley. My friends call me Woos. I'm a full-time bike messenger in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Yes, year-round. In the winter, 60 to 100K a day. And when I have time to, and as I'm riding around, I keep an eye out for stolen bikes. I've covered 4 of them this year, including one last week.
Can you take us to where you caught that, where you found that bike?
Yeah, it's just a 3-block ride from here.
My heart's racing. I feel like I'm on the hunt. Ooh. Okay. Ah! Oh, we are running a light, and I'm on this cruiser of a bike. So we're at the corner of Graham Mall and Kennedy Street in Winnipeg, and this is the site of one of your reclaiming of a bike.
Yeah, I was ran to a friend of mine who was having coffee in the coffee shop next year. We're just standing outside, catching up. I hadn't seen him in a couple of months. And in the middle of the conversation, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a bike that belonged to actually a mutual friend of ours ride past. It had a big wonky fender on the back end, so it really stood out. And I yelled at my friend to chase that guy down. We just jumped on our bikes and chased after the guy and caught him about a block down at the next red light. Rolled up to him and basically in a gruff voice said, hey buddy, you're on top of my friend's stolen bike. He'd bought it from somebody for cheap. So I split the difference with him on what he'd spent on it, showed him a picture of the original owner with the bike, and he agreed that that person should get the bike back.
It's probably not always that you're running after someone who's currently on the stolen bike. What do you do when maybe you see one locked up somewhere?
If I'm certain that that's a stolen bike, then I throw an extra bike lock on it so it's not going anywhere. try and contact the owner, or try and get someone down with bolt cutter or something like that to cut the thief's lock off of it.
Yeah. Take me back. When did you start looking for stolen bikes?
I've always kept an eye out for them. This year's been really good for it. I've joined a bunch of social media groups where people post photos and information about their stolen bikes. Keep checking those groups like Winnipeg Bike Watch on Facebook or Winnipeg and Area Stolen Bikes. Keep updated on what's missing, and as I'm riding around through the city, if I pass anyone or see anything locked up somewhere that's a stolen bike, then I see what I can do about that.
Do the cops know that you do this? Like, are you sort of known as a bike reclamation vigilante?
I don't think they do.
Why not just leave this for the police? Because it could get really dangerous.
It could get really dangerous, but a lot of times, they're not going to respond to it. You can go in and show them a Kijiji ad of like, that's my stolen bike right there. And this happened, and they told my friend to go get his bike himself. Call up the ad and go try and reclaim it. But just don't go alone, because that would be dangerous.
Oh, wow. Have you ever locked up the wrong bike?
No.
So tell me about a time that reclaiming a bike has gone especially right for you.
Well, one time really stands out where I had spotted a teal Italian Bonotto that had been posted on Winnipeg Bike Watch the day before. And I tossed an extra bike lock onto it and contacted the original owner. And fast forward a year, and we're just had our first anniversary.
Oh, it ended in love. I think I finally figured out your motivation for this. Thank you so much, Ryan, for spending some time with us, showing us the ropes of how you have tracked down a few bikes. You're going to head out now?
Yeah, I'm going to go take a look around.
Ah.
Have a good afternoon.
Crime never stops. Drive safe.
Bye.